Hey there, folks. Duncan here from the Atavism Discord server and Digitally Reincarnated Technologies. This is just a quick, rough tutorial on how to do mounts and vehicles. I plan on doing a better one later, more detailed, but mounts and vehicles both get done about the same way here. So in this case, I'm using the Synty stuff, as usual. I already have them sorted in different ways, but the first thing you're going to want to do is take your mount, put it somewhere in your resource folder. Generally speaking, I duplicate it because I keep everything separate as a backup. So mine's already here. I'm going to drag it into the scene. You're going to want to put in your animation controllers accordingly. See if I have the horse one here. Here we go. And the avatar for it should also be horse avatar in this case. Remove that, and then we want to set up mount on here. So Atavism mount. Okay. So we're going to go to the scene, and we've got the horse here. We want to open up to the spine area, and we want to go and put in a new game object here. So you already have the reins, but we're going to add mount point. You can actually name it anything you want, but most assets I've seen use it as mount point. And I'm going to apply it so it's saved. And we're going to drop that here. So there's that. So on the character, where do you want it to sit on there? We're going to set it to pelvis. Rider animation is mount. That's for when you get into your animator for which one to grab. You can also throw in the other animations here, etc. Now, once you're in game, you're going to want to test this because your mount point may need to be changed. Like, you can see that by default it lined it up here. So this little part of the saddle would be going straight up his horse. You're probably going to want to change it here. And generally speaking, when they're in the mounted pose, their feet are going to line up with this. So probably about there would actually work with it. But you're probably going to want to go in and out of the game a few times, like go into the game, mount, adjust it, go up to the position, hit copy, leave the game, paste it back in, and go. So once you have this done, hit apply again. It's now saved as that. The next step then would be to go into the Atavism editor. And I gotta move it over to this screen so you can see it. Combat, we need an effect. And it's mount. So you name it whatever you want, mount effect. We would drag that horse. Let's see if I can do it from here. We're going to go get the horse, drag it in there. It's a ground horse as opposed to a swimming or flying one. Let's say that you get a 15% speed increase, no stat changes. It's removable by player. It's not passive. Do they need a skill for it? None. That's fine. Any required effects? Put in an icon. Let's go. Horse tutorial. Save it. Bit of a delay. My server's on the other side of the world. If you're looking for a good VPS that you can use, if you don't mind the delay, if you're in the Western Hemisphere, chalk to Helix. His stuff is great. Never had an issue with it. Next, we're going to go to abilities. Now you need a way to add the effect. This works just like any other ability. We're going to go to effect ability. The chance of it working is 100%. No cost, no requirements. We'll scroll down. The effect happens to the caster. And horse tutorial. We hit save. We're waiting on it again. Almost done there. And then your last step there would be applying that to a skill. Like with any other ability, you need to put them on a skill. So we're going to call this a mount skill. Same type of thing. We'll call it a combat skill. Doesn't matter unless you're using the profiles and stuff so much. Add abilities. So when you have this skill, oh, it didn't update there. One sec. Okay, I see what I did there. Okay. I didn't name it properly. That's why it showed up as 1. So, which is fine in this case. It just gave it the ID. So, we're creating a skill. Let's call it the mount skill. I had to backtrack a bit there. We're going to go down here. Add ability. Number 1, because I didn't name it properly. So it's actually a blank name. That's its ID. Skill level, we're going to say you get it at the automatically with no skill. Hit save. And then we will go over to character. Player character setup. Go into one that I already have created. I have not created one yet on the server rebuild. Okay. So we're just going to leave everything as default here, since I'm not actually doing anything with it. And we'll hit save. If you're doing mounts, you should already have this part done, so I'm not too worried about it. A lot more to save when you save a character like this. Alright, so that's saved. Now we'll go in, so now we can edit it. Scroll down to the bottom, add skills, we have mount, we hit save. You go and you reboot your server, you boot back in, create a new character, because this will not auto-update onto all your other characters. And you should now be able to summon your mount. Again, once you summon your mount, the next step on it is going to be to test it, figure out where you line up on here, adjust your mount point accordingly to get it lined up properly. Once you've done that, you can go up here, in-game, copy component, exit game, reopen this, paste component values, hit save, and then you should be good to go. Again, this is a pretty rough tutorial. I didn't go deep into details. Vehicles are setting up the exact same way. It really comes down at that point to your animator, which I don't think I have mine set up in this new build yet. Yep, I do. So mounted and vehicle in this case. So yeah, you can see that my mount 1. Oh, great. Vehicles, I just used a sitting animation for it. Not a big deal. I will be testing the Flying Dragon mount one as well. If it looks like it'll work for the horses, I will release it for that accordingly. I have permission from Infinity PBR to do that. So it's just a matter of testing it and getting it going. So watch for that in the Synty Addon channel. And thanks for watching, guys.